What's up, guys? This is Terrell Monger. You are tuned in to Think Like a Nerd, Grind Like a Boss podcast, brought to you by the Millionaire Grind Network. All right, if you got 20/20 vision, you good, but if not, put on your glasses so you can see what I'm saying. Today, we want to talk about something that everybody has been a part of. They came out in millions and billions and droves to see the Avengers Endgame. Yeah, that's where we spend our money at. I need some of that end game money. But why am I talking about the end game? Because I just want everybody out there to know, if you don't have an end game plan, if you don't have a vision for your future, man, you get stuck in your present or lost in your past. And you don't even know what friends to pick. You don't know what books to read. You don't know what information to take in to accomplish what you're trying to do without an end game, a goal, a plan. And it's important that you do that because end game grossed over $2 billion in income, almost the highest grossing movie that's out there. But it didn't start out like that. They started out small. And I'm going to tell you, it's three things that they did to get them to the point that they're at, and that's what I want to talk about today. Starting off with delayed gratification, talking about influence, and operating in excellence. How is it delayed gratification? Well, the MCU started out trying stuff. Matter of fact, they did what the Bible says. Plant your seeds in the morning, and in the evening, don't let your hands be idle, for you'll never know what will work, this or that, or both of them together. Why do I say that? The MCU started out trying to make the Hulk movie, didn't do too well. Fantastic Four didn't do too well. Next thing you know, they made Iron Man. They started picking up traction. They said, okay, we own to something. And that's when they started bringing in Captain America and things like that, building up to what led toward the end game. So whatever you're doing in your life, man, start small. You might not have all the pieces you need. You might not have all the money you need. You might not have all the contacts you need. But the goal is to start something. And a lot of people, I know we want to be entrepreneurs, but maybe you need to, work a job, stack your paper, and then move out to entrepreneurship. If you wait, you might end up in a bad situation and think you lost and then go back and work forever. So start small. The goal is to start somewhere, because that's what the MCU did. Matter of fact, Fantastic Four was really a flop. Sometimes you're going to flop with what you're doing, but that don't mean you need to quit. You may stumble, you may struggle, you may even want to quit, but don't give up, because in the end game, you got to stay focused on what you wanted. Everybody that's accomplished everything great had to stumble from time to time. It makes you no better than them. They're no better than you. You just got to make it through the stumble. Write that down. Make it through the stumble. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel like you're the only one that's failing, but Oprah done felt it. Tyler Perry done felt it. Steve Harvey has felt it. You can feel it. You will live, but you just got to keep grinding. And while you're at it, think like a nerd too. All right. And what's the next point that they had to go through? They had to go through what I call the influence level, where they pulled in characters. You got to pull in characters in your life that fit the story you're trying to tell. You got to fit in people that understand where you're trying to go, because if you keep having to explain yourself, it battles with your self-esteem. When you find where you fit, you don't have to explain yourself no more. You develop what we call chemistry, where people around you, they kind of get it, and you don't have to keep wasting energy and wasting time trying to win people, because they already get you and understand you. But check this out with the MCU. They pulled in some characters that didn't work. Look how many times they changed the Hulk character. They went through 2 or 3 people. Look how many times they had to change the Fantastic Four. They went through a whole new cast, and it still didn't work. They said, no, let's move on. Let's do Iron Man. They got it right when they picked the character for Iron Man. It just worked. And because it worked, it was the springboard for everything else. Check this out. What's even better than that, the man they had in the first Fantastic Four as Johnny Blaze, since Fantastic Four didn't work out, they pulled the man in and made him Captain America. Sometimes you got the right people in your life, they just in the wrong place. So sometimes you think you got this woman, she may be bad and all this. Maybe y'all just supposed to be friends. Maybe you ain't supposed to hit that. Maybe you ain't supposed to make her your wife. Maybe you just supposed to get some information and some inspiration from her and then move on. Same thing with dudes. You may have a guy in your life. He reminds you of your dad. He reminds you of somebody that you look up to. It may not even mean you need to date him. Maybe you need to understand the type of woman that he wants so he can prepare you for the man you need to be with. It's not about always people being exactly what you want them to be. You learn from all the people around you. And then you cannot get mad when people don't live up to your expectations that you have not communicated with them. Sometimes people are just in one place and you trying to make them something else, and what could have been a good friend end up in a fair relationship. But you don't know that if you don't have an end game in mind. You say, my goal is to be married. He telling you, baby, I just want to kick it. And you sit up saying, yeah, I'm going to change his mind. Oh, nope. You got the end game all messed up. That may be a good character. You just got him in the wrong spot. And if you do that, it'll mess things up. Some of y'all got good friends. Y'all can kick it. Y'all can go to the mall. Y'all can play basketball, all this type of stuff. But you trying to make them your business partner. Right person? Wrong business partner. You better keep them on this side. You may have all the right people on the bus. They just in the wrong seats. But until you get a vision for your own life, you're going to constantly having people running in your life, being frustrated and mad when they may have been good people. They just wasn't good for you. They may have been just cool for shopping with, and that's it. And now you trying to make them your BFF, and now they telling all your business. If you got an end game, you can pick the right characters and get your franchise going forward and mess around and come up with you a bestseller. The third point that the MCU did, they always operated in excellence. Man, they promoted their stuff like it was the baddest thing going. No matter whether the movie was good or bad, they promoted it like it was good. I mean, I went to the Hulk thinking it was going to be a fire movie. But you know what? Yeah, let me down. Wasn't as good as I thought it was. But because of the promotions of their next movie, they was just as excited. I said, let me give that a try. There is nothing wrong with you being excited by your ideas. Don't let people tell you be quiet. Don't let people tell you not to talk about it. Don't let people tell you need to think smaller. If you're excited about your idea, be excited about your idea. Operate in excellence. You're your biggest promoter. And if you're not excited, who's going to be excited? And even in operating in excellence, they had some movies that the storyline wasn't as good. I look at Thor Ragnarok. Wasn't as good a storyline, but you needed to tell that story to get to the overall movie, which was Endgame. Matter of fact, they needed it to set up the Infinity War. So some of your not so good points are setting you up for what's going to be some of your greatest points. And you can't feel bad that it didn't go as well. You can't feel bad that people didn't compliment you, that nobody shared your event on social media, that your friends said they were coming and didn't come. It cannot make you quit. How many times have people invited you to come out to something and you didn't show up? It didn't mean you didn't like them. It didn't mean you didn't like the event. You just had some other things that took priority. Sometimes you're going to have some things that you're excited about that other people are going to put other things ahead of what you think is important. You can't let that define you. Anytime you allow yourself to be defined by someone else's opinion, you take the power out of your own hand. You define your destiny. As long as it's big in your head, you keep promoting it, keep building, and then it builds up. They had Iron Man. They had Iron Man 2. They brought us Captain America. They brought back the Avengers. They brought back Iron Man 3. And they keep building up, and made the highest grossing movie in history. Is right at the door. They're about $60 million away of even overtaking the number one movie. And at the rate of making 8 to 10 million a weekend, they probably gonna get there soon. It's all about progress, guys. Celebrate yourself for what you did do. It may not be as pretty as you wanted it to be. You may not have made as much money as you want to make, but guess what? You did that. You can say, I finished it. Now that you finished it, take a nap and then go back and see how you can make it a little better. It kind of reminds me when God was creating the world. He stepped out on darkness, separated water from the land, had this big muddy mess. But the Bible says at the end of the day, he said, it's good. Wait a minute, God, you got this big muddy mess and you talking about it's good? God said, I made progress. I did something that nobody else has done before. I did something unique and I'm a step closer to my vision. So guess what? It's good. So whatever you did, some people may say speaking public is nothing. I do that all the time. If you've never spoken public and you got up there and you did it, man, you did that. That's accomplishment. The enemy of progress is comparison. Don't compare yourself, your first time doing something, to somebody that's been doing it 10 or 15 years. You can't make a song and say, man, it's not as good as Beyonce. Man, Beyonce been doing this since she was 12. Okay? So if you finish the song, good. If don't nobody else play it, you play it. And then be honest with yourself. Is it as good as I want it to be? Can I hit these notes a little better? Can I try a little harder? And then you gradually look up and you have accomplished your end game. Because that's what this thing is all about. Being the absolute best you can be in the day that you're in. Go to sleep. Try again tomorrow. The goal is to keep going every day. Nobody around you is your competition. Not the person on the left, not the person on the right. Your biggest competition is the person you were yesterday. If you can wake up today and say, I did a little bit better today than I did yesterday, I'm all right. But guess what? Even if you didn't, you can do better tomorrow. But you got to keep your vision in the front of your mind. Where there is no vision, you get stuck. Where there is no vision, you get complacent. You become apathetic. And when you start getting down on you, it doesn't matter who try to lift you up. If you don't see yourself as something in your own eyes, what a man says, what a woman says, what an employer says, none of that means anything. You have to convince yourself. I was put here for a specific purpose, and I'm not going to stop until I finish. I'm going after with everything I got. If you can give somebody on a job 8 hours of your day, you can give yourself at least 4 or 5 to accomplish your goal. So y'all see what this is? We're trying to think through this thing. Then we're trying to grind. So you think like a nerd, you grind like a boss, so you can see what you set out to see and do what you set out to do. Hey, until next time, I need y'all to be out there trying some stuff and thinking about some stuff and keep grinding.